This is a longer video today, a little off the cuff. We're going to make it work. I'm in the office today. I don't think I've been in the office maybe twice in the last, who knows, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's the beauty of a virtual planning firm. So um, I was doing some thinking after a meeting I had earlier today. Great meeting, great introductory conversation, but it sparked something that I wanted to chat about, and will hopefully give you a glimpse into some of the planning work that I do for my clients. And so, to provide some context, these thoughts were spurred from this meeting. And what happens is that some of the investing and wealth management side of the business can be very easy, very simple, because of all the tools available. It's very easy to set up the 401k. It's easy to max out the IRA, do a backdoor Roth, whatever you need to do. Now, eventually there comes a point in time where you need to offload all of the planning work because life just gets overwhelming. That's where a lot of my clients are. They know how to do this stuff from an investment standpoint, but they want help in helping them make decisions and just offloading the decision making from an investment standpoint. But life just gets crazy with regards to the work that we're doing, the businesses that we're running, the kids that we have, activities to and from. A lot gets thrown at you on a daily basis. And so we actually ended up having a conversation around the student loan debt, law school student loan debt, but it ended up being just more of a general conversation around debt versus investing and the balance that we want to have. And so I shared my philosophy with her. And obviously I just wanted to share it with you as well. And so what I've created is philosophies for planning. Let's just call this the WealthCode Operating System that literally just came up with. I might start using that actually. So there are two ways that you can make a decision when it comes to financial planning. So the first way is purely number driven, right? This is math. This is pretty cut and dry. It's concrete. If you have a 3 or 4% interest rate on any sort of debt that you have, you're likely better off putting that money to work offensively than paying down debt defensively, right? So the reason for this is because you're likely going to get a better rate of return over time. We're talking 7, 10, 15, 20 years in the market than the interest rate on that loan, right? For example, like my mortgage is a 3.75% interest rate. I'm just paying that bare minimum every single month and then keeping it moving, right? So the other type of debt obviously is, the credit card debt, personal loans. Now, if this starts to creep past 9, 10%, and obviously we know with credit cards that can creep upwards of 22, 25, 29%, the best use of our surplus dollars are going to be in paying down that debt versus investing, right? Because math makes sense. Math works. Now, I always say there are two ways or two things that will give you peace of mind in this financial planning world. And this is going to be being debt-free and also just having cash, right? Having the emergency fund and maybe even a little bit more than so. That emergency fund is going to hit that emotional threshold, that emotional button for you. Opening up the Chase app, Fifth Third, whoever you bank with, and seeing those dollars in the bank account, very, very helpful. So that leads me to like the second way that you can make this decision, and it's based on emotions. Now, I'm not talking about the emotions that we have with regards to the investment world, right? When the market dips, our emotions tell us to pull our money out. We shouldn't do that. But I'm talking about these other areas, right? Where we all know that credit card debt can be very, very stressful to have it roll over every single month. Now, if the lower interest rate is just as stressful, whether it's student loans or anything else, then we're probably going to have to make an emotional decision to be strategic around getting the debt paid off, giving you peace of mind, but also being strategic with the investments, right? We can't just leave the investments on the back burner just to pay off a 3, 4, 5% interest rate on the debt. Also, I understand we put so much of our emotions into money, so much of our emotions into debt, our investing, that sometimes we have to make these decisions from an emotional standpoint. And that's where I come in, right? That's where I help you kind of whittle down all of the opportunity costs in front of you, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of a glimpse into the intentionality I have with my clients. Right, we're not just making decisions just because it's a rule of thumb, or because this is what the experts say. We're actually making decisions based off of what you've done, what's important to you, what's relevant to you, and also where you want to go and how you want life to look like. So hopefully this helps. It's a long video, so I appreciate you sticking around if you've stuck around this long, but